from Studio A at beautiful One Biloxi Square in Lake Worth, Texas. Welcome in, everyone, to the Grandpa and Pappy Show as we start off a Monday together and try to recuperate from the weekend.
It's definitely Monday.
Yes, sir. And you have a very special wish that you want to convey.
I do, yeah. My divine Miss Helen, my better half, as she's known in our large circles,
Yes.
had a birthday yesterday.
Yes, she did.
So I heard. So I heard.
You guys
Not
had
happy
a-
birthday, darling. I love you beaucoup big time. We had some cold and tasty beverages and took her out for a birthday lunch. And
That's great.
yeah,
That's great. Yeah, we love Miss Helen. And she's an integral part of helping put this program together in the beginning, and we appreciate that so very, very
she
much.
tolerates us.
Yeah, she does. It was an interesting weekend. The college football got kicked off really good on Saturday, and we hope your favorite team won. Mine did. But it got off without any incidents or anything like this.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch that stuff anymore.
Well, I watch college, but I didn't watch any of the pro. I take that back. That's a lie. I watched.
I bet it is.
No, I watched the beginning of the Dallas Cowboy game last night to see what they were going to do during the national anthem, and I got to hand NBC a little credit here because all of the NFL stadiums around the country that was hosting games, the NFL by mandate wanted them to play the national anthem and what they are describing as the black national anthem. And many did. As far as NBC's coverage of the Cowboys last night, they only showed the national anthem, and they only had one Cowboy player to kneel last night. Everyone was standing with their hands over their hearts, and the Los Angeles Rams had like 11 or 12 that were kneeling. So my hat's off to NBC for not showing a lot of that
The
stuff.
networks are probably starting to realize that it doesn't just affect the people that watch the game
Yeah,
or the teams
yeah,
buy that,
yeah.
because they're losing money too.
They are. The Kansas City Houston Texan game on Thursday night, viewership was down 45%, and that was the first NFL game of the season, so that ought to tell you something.
Yep.
If it doesn't, someone is going to have a heated discussion in the boardrooms of sponsors today.
Aaron told you that.
And it'll be interesting to see today what the viewership is, ratings-wise, what it will show. I know there's
That I'd like to know.
those are a lot of things that we want to find out because there's a lot of people that said they didn't want to watch it.
Well, but then all the restaurants in sports bar restaurants that have all the TVs, doesn't that enter into the ratings?
Yes, it does.
Because I mean,
does.
people are going there and they've got them on. They just have them on.
Yeah.
So
Whether they wanted to watch them or not.
whether they wanted to watch
But
it or not.
there have been some sports venues or sports bars or bars that showed
Boycotting.
sports. Are boycotting them and not showing them at all. You're right, Pappy. Yeah,
I heard that.
I read it on Facebook. It's got to
Yeah.
be true.
it is. Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have an interesting show for you
Yeah, we do.
today. It was suggested to us by a viewer by the name of Solomon White.
Yeah.
And we thought that was kind of apropos with the question that he asked, your solution to the racial tensions.
Yeah.
And there was a comment made by someone that said that very same thing is kind of apropos. And Solomon sent me a comment that said, I am African American. So here you have a young African American by the name of Solomon White, no pun intended, asking a simple question, your solution to the racial tensions. And to me, Pappy, it's a young man asking for some answers.
Well, he's concerned.
Yeah, I mean, good Lord of mercy.
racism comes in all breeds, colors.
Every single
Forms.
color, yeah.
It does, yeah.
And it's just being blown out of proportion so much. And I just wanted to, I'm kind of like Solomon. I want to know what the answer is. Let's get it done and get it over with.
If he can figure out a way to cure that, he damn sure better toss his hat in the ring to run for president.
You stole the words right out of my mouth,
It would
boy.
be a landslide.
Yes, he would. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's gosh, we know so many African American friends. I mean,
Yeah.
we, both of us have so many of them.
Well, I was raised with him, just
Well,
as you
yeah,
were. You know,
yeah.
I mean, I didn't.
And every one
I didn't see any
that I
difference.
have talked to, they're embarrassed about all this stuff and want it to go away because it's their fear that if they keep it up, that it's going to turn people of other races against the African American people.
And some of that's going on as we speak.
Yeah,
You know. So don't
I
know,
have
but-
never considered myself a racist,
Nah.
but I'll tell you, I'm getting tired of all this stuff being, forced down my throat.
Yeah.
As usual, you people have come up with some good stuff.
Yeah. We appreciate you sending that in, by the way, Solomon.
Absolutely.
That's a powerful subject.
It is a
and
powerful
very,
subject.
Very touchy subject too.
And to me, it's even more powerful since you're a young African American male.
Right.
I appreciate that, appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate what you're trying to find out.
Yeah.
And our viewers, as usual, have come up with some good logical answers,
Yep.
which we'll delve into right now. Why don't we get after it?
Let's.
Stephen James said, "Stop the fake news propaganda machine. Take control of our education system from the communists, Satanists, and the left, and teach our children creation instead of debunked evolution.
Yeah.
Put God back in our schools, government, and country. Start teaching truth that there is only one race, the human race.
Thank you for that.
And all of us are just different shades of brown. We're all descendants of Noah."
No.
Yeah, that's correct.
He's a famous boat builder, wasn't he?
Yeah. He lately just built a new yacht for Jerry Jones, from what I heard.
I wonder how many critters he's got on there.
According to who invited.
Should define critters. Shirley Mills says we are all Americans if we're all here legally. Short and sweet.
Yeah,
Well said, Shirley.
yeah, very muchly. And about the same thing for Barbara Cameron Carey. She said to ban the network news media's fake news and scare tactics.
By God.
And by George, she is absolutely right.
Yeah, a lot of people live on it. They thrive.
Now, you and I have talked about this so many times. For those of you who may be new to the Grandpa and Pappy show, Pappy and I were old radio guys back in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. And this, we lived through the time where the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, which had rule and domination over all broadcast facilities.
And boy, they were tough too.
They were very tough, as Pappy can attest to. If it was still regulated today, you would not be hearing all this fake news and things like this, because before you aired a program, correct me if I'm wrong, Pappy, you had to verify all sources and name them.
Oh yeah.
And if you couldn't, that's considered fake news, and boy, the FCC could come down on you.
In other words, you'd be looking for a job somewhere else, and it probably wouldn't be in radio once the word got out. So
I heard a good saying right after that happened,
yeah.
that with deregulation brought the death of journalism.
You know, it's true.
Yeah.
I believe that.
I do too.
I'm inclined to believe that. Well, let's see where Maria Martini says.
Martinez.
That's what I said. Martinez. Martinis. No, I'm still thinking about yesterday. Sorry, Maria. Let me back up. Maria Martinez says that tensions would calm down immediately if all Americans looked upon each other as equals.
Bingo.
Well said on that. If a person wants to invest the time and effort to improve themselves open up a business or improve their future, we should all applaud it and encourage them instead of being jealous for what he or she has accomplished. Too often tensions rise because of that jealous, and the word privilege always pops up.
Yep. And boy, I couldn't agree more.
That is well said.
I could not agree more. Maria, you hit the nail right on the head,
Pretty
because
sharp cookie, that Maria.
I'll tell you, and I've seen it several times. I mean, people get a little jealous of people that have, shall we say, got money,
Or hair.
or have.
You had to bring it up, didn't you?
I didn't bring the hair part up. Come
Got
on.
he got pretty hair.
But anyway, bringing up the word that they've worked their butts off and they got some money, and you're kind of jealous of it. Everyone in this country has got an opportunity equally to go out, work their butts off, make something of themselves, and be able to make a lot of money. Instead of being jealous, let's put on the old work boots and get out there and get after it.
You know, just like I used to tell my boy, and they hate it to this day every time they hear this phrase. How bad do you want it?
Yeah, I've heard you tell them.
How bad do you want it? They just kind of give me that bitter beer face look, like, shut up.
Bitter beer face.
But they've each went out and earned it.
Yeah,
You know, and
and that's something to be very proud of.
I'm very proud of them for it,
Yeah.
but and that's something they may not admit, but I bet they're happy as hell that they did.
Yeah.
Because they learned to appreciate it
Yeah,
more.
we taught our children the same way, and
Yeah.
every one of them, God bless them, they working their butts off and doing very well.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you,
Yeah.
Maria. That was that was very insightful. James Miner thinks that by looking at each other as human beings and all Americans, we can stop a lot of this nonsense going on today. I was raised around African Americans all my life, and not once did we refer to each other as African American or Caucasian Americans. We just called each other buddies or friends, and still do to this day. There's a lesson there.
Yep.
That is, if we treat each other with respect and in a manner of friendship, we can all thrive living together as one nation. These are just my thoughts, of course.
Well, and good thoughts they are.
Yeah,
Thanks
James,
for sending that in.
that is very good when you stop and think about it. Yeah.
Big Matt Bannister said, just stop talking about it and get a damn sense of humor. And if you know Big Matt like we do, he's got a sense of humor.
Yeah, and he's a big boy too. Yeah, he sure is.
Thank God he has a sense of humor. I'd probably my nose would be crooked the other way. So, big boy.
I remember a previous broadcast. This is our 76th broadcast together, Pappy. But in an earlier one, I can remember you saying one of the things that's going on with America, what's going wrong with America is that people don't have thick skin anymore.
That's true.
It's all so thin. We used to let things roll off our shoulders.
Well, I mean,
and laugh about it. And
even as recent as yesterday, I was told I didn't give a rat's ass about anything because I laughed at it. Don't mean I don't care. Just means I'm not going to let it get in too deep to my head to where I act as big an asshole as the person that called me that.
Read Matt's comment one more time.
So just stop talking about it and get a sense of humor.
Exactly what you just said.
Pretty simple.
That's pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
Good job, Matt.
Yeah.
Bobby Hearn says, stop putting the bull crap on the one-sided news, to which Mona Leverton Hardin agreed, saying turn the news off, and there would be no problem. Charles Henson said make all false information from the media a felony to stop the constant instigating from them. And that goes back to what Pappy and I were just talking about the FCC when they were regulated.
Yeah.
Man,
oh Lord,
I do miss those days sometimes. I was scared to death sometimes.
The pay sucked, but I sure had a good time.
I had a large time.
The benefits were bodacious. See, Drax Smith said class warfare is the real problem. Yeah. Class warfare creates us, and the scenarios that create self-segregation promote poverty and crime. Class warfare is a direct product of Marxism. Though you do see some on the right, like Mitt Romney, employ it with stupidity, like the poor or lazy, or the cooperationist trying to ease
You'll
the,
excuse us, folks. That got me.
yeah. Or the cooperation is trying to ease the guilt of the massive destruction done by this nation by outsourcing and guest worker abuse. They try to blame the American workers, but it's not the American workers that are the problem. It is a class warfare. Now, there's a side note here. Drac had a lot of comments.
He did.
We might have to get him as a guest on the show and just let him run wild.
Just ask him a question and go take a break.
There
And
you go. Kind of like putting in a potty tape back in old days.
back in the bathroom break.
Potty
Potty
tape
song,
off the cart.
Yep.
Well said, Drac. We appreciate that. man.
Yeah, Drac, thank you very much. That's well thought out too.
Yep.
And you can look at it and see what he's talking about
Yeah.
too.
Absolutely.
Shane Matlock asked, "What racial tension? If someone is racist, then they're stupid, and I mean all races who have racist individuals. It is plain stupid to hate someone for what they literally had no control or choice over. So this is what the media needs to exploit, then making it something that it is not."
You know, and something that Pop used to tell me. He told all us boys, and Deanne, all the kids, you know, the infamous N-word that everybody's upset about. He said that comes in every race
In color.
and color.
Yep.
He said, and I know more white ones than I do black ones or any other color. So when you're calling somebody that word, he said, figuratively means trash.
Wow.
So that's the way we were raised.
Yeah. And your dad was a smart man.
Yeah, he was a character.
Yeah. I'd love to have met him.
Yeah, I miss him every day.
I bet you do.
Jeff Thompson perhaps said it best when he just simply said, defund the media.
And we could have a little fun with that. I mean,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
have T-shirts made. Defund the media.
Defund the media. You want to defund something, start with the media.
And of course, we're not talking about us, but
All of but YouTube, of course.
yes, absolutely. Terrell Lee Hathcock had a great observation when he said, "It is easy. Stop using race on everything.
Yeah.
Instead of saying a black man was shot 7 times in the back, just say a man was shot 7 times in the back." Racism isn't going to go anywhere until we remove it from its existence. It's not that hard to be a decent human being. If everyone would realize all this crap is to divide us, then we could make a difference. It says it in the Pledge of Allegiance. United we stand, divided we fall. Now we are divided thanks to the lying ass media and a bunch of money-hungry pedophiles, I mean politicians. Then Mary Adams Childers said, "I absolutely agree with this."
By God. Politicians. Oh, Big Billy Bryan stated, just as Morgan Freeman said, stop talking about it. And Brent Hardy said, stop believing in the media's false narrative.
Yeah.
Well
Morgan
said.
Freeman is a very intelligent actor.
One of my favorites.
Yeah,
like
and
Morgan
he
Freeman.
states things so simple and elegantly. And I remember seeing that it was a public service announcement is what it was.
Yeah,
that
I've
was
seen
on.
it. Yeah, he's a smart guy.
Just stop talking about it.
Just shut the hell up about
Get it out of the English language. I mean, everybody's trying to get words out of the English language anyway. Let's just ban racism, okay?
Yeah.
Be that simple. Nobody can say it. Race.
Well, in a day of politically correctness,
Oh yeah.
why wasn't that included? You know,
That
by God,
is a very astute observation.
I bet Morgan didn't even realize that.
I think I was relating the story to you about Denzel Washington about 3 years ago on
Another smart
I
cookie.
really believe it was Face the Nation that I was watching, and the interviewer asked him his opinion on how to stop racism in America, and he didn't answer. The camera zoomed in on him, and he had his hand like this, and you could see the brains.
You could hear the wheels turning.
Yeah. And it seemed like it was 20, 25 seconds before he looked at him and he said, The only way to stop this is if the black community stops teaching hate to our black children. And then a guy doing the interviewing, he had a puzzled look on his face, and he said, "So what are you really trying to say?" And he said, "Well," he said, "in today's society, the white family, the white culture has made a change to understand and try to work with African Americans to make it easier for them. But the African American community is not trying to work with them, and they're still teaching hate to their children."
Well, and it's not just about the black communities.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all races, you know.
It is. And you brought up a great point a while ago. It starts at home.
Yeah, it does.
If you don't teach it at home, it's not going to be taught. And
That's a
hopefully the schools could back them up, you know.
Well, I mean, if it's not taught at home, no teacher in the world is going to be able to instill you in that.
Well, that's true. I mean, we grew up in a time where, you know, our parents they enforced it. And then we also grew up in a time where the school enforced it before they took the corporal punishment away.
Like Pop said, if I ever hear of you acting that way, not just at home, especially out in public,
yeah,
it might have a tendency to make your ass hurt, boy.
That sounds like something my daddy would say, because he had said just about the same thing.
Yeah,
he surely did.
Didn't make much sense, but somehow I knew what he meant.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Oh,
Sherry Snow Bracewell said it is all political and media fueled. Charlie George said put Jesus into everything and it will stop.
Yeah, you want him involved.
Yeah.
He'll flood it or burn it or something. Curtis, it won't be nice, whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
He's probably giving us a sample out on the West Coast right now of what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Curtis Kelly said it's got to start with us as individuals. Yep.
I agree.
Teach your kids, get to know your neighbors, kill the ego and selfishness inside of us all. Ignore the BS on TV. We're only divided if we let them divide us. Love is always the answer.
That is a great statement.
Sound like something my grandma would say.
Curtis, good job. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
Mason Alexander told us the answer is simple. If we treat everyone with respect they deserve as a human being, this stuff wouldn't exist.
Yep.
We had nothing to do with what our ancestors did in the early forming of our nation, but we've learned from it.
Yeah.
There have been so many changes over the years that protect individuals from being treated as anyone else but equals. I don't look at the color of one's skin and judge him on it, but instead, I judge him on what is on the inside of him.
I think that would be the key.
That has to be the key, Pappy. I mean, we're not going to get this stuff solved until people start thinking like that.
Yeah, we all have to be on the same page.
Yeah.
You know, just like Bruce Thomas says, start referring to everyone as Americans, not African Americans, white American or Mexican Americans, Chinese Americans, just Americans. We're all Americans.
True words were never spoken.
And if you're not, get the hell out of our country.
Well, you know, I got to get over the fact that you're much better looking than I am, and I'm a little jealous about that.
Yeah, but you got pretty hair, though.
Yeah, well, anyway, we have got to start looking at the character of a person inside.
Yeah, it's what
because we're all different,
the
Pappy.
fabric of what makes you who you are is what you should be judged by.
Any final thoughts on that, Karen?
Well, maybe, but
Well.
it's a little political.
Well, share it with us.
Well, just spit it out, kid.
Well, in 2008 presidential election, there was a lot of us that thought bringing in a black president would kind of help bring us all together. And unfortunately, that's not the way it worked at all. And it's a shame that it didn't, because he could have been powerful by uniting all of us as Americans.
he could have started off being one himself.
Yeah.
That might have helped.
Well, that's true.
By God.
My God. But man, it's some very insightful comments and thoughts from you, our listeners, on this. And Solomon, hopefully, you got some ideas on how people are really thinking and what they think the solutions may be, because I'm sure many of what they said is the same thing that you may be thinking, and the reason you asked that question. So I hope you got some answers.
Yeah, and if you can come up with anything better, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know. Just shoot us a line at grandpaandpappy@gmail.com or
www.grandpa in the letter N pappy.com. Let's take a look at some of the viewer comments we got in. Michelle Noble commented on our 9/11 show by saying I was teaching school and we could not say a word about it to our second graders. By the time I got home, my emotions were so out of control, I went to pieces.
Yeah.
Man. And we've, golly, that 9/11 show, if you have not seen that from last Friday, you got to watch it, especially for the montage at the end.
Oh, Lord.
Special K did a marvelous job.
Outdid herself.
Yes, she did.
Paul S. Smith Woodard also commented on the 9/11 show by saying that listening to the comments of your listeners, it is evident that the events of the day touched so many lives.
That's correct.
I remembered what I was doing and the emotions I went through that day. Very sad.
And I think as...
it impacted the whole world. I think.
Yeah, it did. Well, if you've watched the Friday show, if you haven't, go back and watch it, because many listeners shared what they were doing on that fateful day of 9/11, 2001.
In great detail. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember well.
I do too.
Every single detail of that moment.
Mike Sayer said he enjoyed our show on seeing something or seeing something nice, if I can spit it out here. He said, by watching that show, I've started looking for people doing nice things for one another, and I'm going to go up to them and just say thank you. Yeah.
That's awesome, Mike.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Lisa Seeley also contacted us about the Being Nice show by simply saying she loved the show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yep. Patty254 says on Twitter that she is totally against mail-in ballots. She said she got 6 pieces of mail on Friday, 4 of which were to someone at different address. How can you depend on the integrity of mail-in ballots when the post office can't even deliver the mail correctly?
You know, and she's got a very good valid point. If you ever want something lost in transit, take it to the post office.
Yeah, send it in the mail. Hey, it's been a lot of fun today. We appreciate it. Solomon, thank you very much. We'll give you the email address again here in just a second. Well, heck, let's just do it right now.
What the hell?
What the heck? If you want to send us a subject for a show, just like Solomon did here, and just like our program coming up on Wednesday, it's right there. Grandpa and Pappy at gmail.com.
Yep.
Or
you can hit us up directly on our show website at www.grandpa, the letter N, Pappy, grandpaandpappy.com.
That's right. And it's easy to do. We read all comments, and we're taking your comments very seriously. When you go to our webpage, click on that red button, and it'll ask you for a password.
Yep.
You just give them a password that only you know, and you will be subscribed to the Grandpa and Pappy Show. No cost.
Yeah,
it's
it
absolutely
won't
free.
cost you a penny. Plus, you can leave comments there.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
3 ways. You can do it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You have all those options down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And we appreciate those who do that.
Yeah, we do.
Coming up on Wednesday, Pappy, another suggestion by one of our listeners, Brad Atchley.
Yeah, he lives out in Azle area.
Okay.
Springtown or somewhere.
He just simply asked a question, your feeling on the rebel flag. Okay. And so far, we've gotten in quite a few comments on that.
Yeah.
If you want to share your comments, just go to our Gmail account or to our Facebook page and just let us know.
And while I'm thinking about it, our T-shirt vendor got in touch with me Saturday,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be shipping the show shirts today or tomorrow.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
If you're looking for those, and you still have a chance to pre-order and save yourself some shipping and get a little goodie too.
There you go.
Yeah,
Just get in touch with Pappy, and he'll
Yeah.
get you all set up.
that's right.
It's been fun today. We appreciate
It
you
has.
joining us.
Yeah,
Hope
we
you had a
thank
great
you.
weekend.
Thank you so much.
And we will see you back on Wednesday. Until then, hug your children. Let them know you love them.
Tell them we love them right here at the Grandpa and Pappy Show too.
Absolutely. Take care of each other. Be safe. And we'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.